I've already seen some outlets out there dogging episode 1 of season 3 of The Mandalorian, and you're not going to get that from me. I am going to give you a non-spoilery review of the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to score them, but I'll give you my thoughts on these first 2 episodes. I'll score the entire season when it all wraps up. But I really enjoyed the first episode. I thought it was quite strong. It's not the best episode of the show so far, but it does set up some pretty damn cool new things with the mission for this season, and it has to also play the part of bridging a long gap since the second season of The Mandalorian, and this show also has to assume that not everybody's stuck with the Book of Boba Fett. Remember, that show was a little disappointing. That was kind of uneven, and the best episodes of the Book of Boba Fett were surrounding The Mandalorian and Grogu, and so if people didn't stay with the Book of Boba Fett, they missed a whole huge part of it, and some of that is taken care of in the recap before we get into the meat of the first episode, but still, they had to cover some territory in there. The thing that I really appreciate after having seen both the first and the second episode, and I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm going to do my best to kind of tiptoe around all this stuff, but I love the fact that in this season, we're going to see Din Djarin really assuming the mantle of fatherhood and feeling very comfortable in his role. He's teacher-like as he deals with Grogu, and I love that what we're seeing now is Mando taking Grogu on these cross-galaxy adventures and excursions, and he's explaining space travel and hyperspace, and he's taking a moment to kind of illustrate and really point out all of the intricacies of what he does, and also passing on to Grogu the traditions of the Mandalorians and the responsibilities that he has to his faith and to his oath. And it's really cool to see all aspects of how Mando's devotion and commitment to becoming a Mandalorian that has to absolve himself of previous sins, namely that he took his helmet off. He wasn't allowed to take his helmet off. And he's really hell-bent on reclaiming his position amongst the Mandalorians and regaining their respect and their trust. And I really am enjoying that as we kick off the season. There's also absolutely some touchbacks to famous characters and also some cast members that may have changed as well in the first episode. So there is quite a bit of content to kind of satiate where we are in episode 1, which I think is kind of expected with the first episode of any season 3 of any show, because by the time we're at this point, there is a lot of lore and a lot of threads kind of built up, and it's like we have to set a floor for where we're going to go for season 3. And clearly what this new season is about is Din Djarin going back to his roots and understanding his place in this galaxy, and at the same time also crafting more connection to Grogu and understanding what Grogu's place in this galaxy is going to be as this partially trained Jedi who has made this commitment back to Din Djarin to stay with him. And so there's already a multi-layered, leveled kind of emotional hook, especially for a Star Wars lifer like myself. And I am just really glad to be back with these characters. I loved Andor, and I loved how dark and mature and mysterious it was. I thought it was fantastic storytelling, incredibly intelligent script writing. But I also love the loopiness and the goofiness of Mando. I love that there's a sense of humor and a lightness to it. And I also like there's a very cool visual distinctness that we see with the Mandalorian when he goes spelunking into caves, and when he's walking down sunny urban streets, or when he's in canyons and he's fighting giant monsters and things like that. There is this great kind of cross-sectional look at all of Star Wars in The Mandalorian. That's what we've seen in the previous seasons, and already in the first 2 episodes, that's what we're getting from the kickoff of season 3. There are some great new characters and great new creature designs in this. Lots of really incredible practical visual effects and special effects. I'm really enjoying that. I have every scale as well, which is really cool. So we have some itty-bitty characters and some really cool larger ones. Some interesting new conflicts right away for Din Djarin to face, and also a reconnection with Bo-Katan, who we saw in Season 2, played by the incredible Katie Sackhoff, who I just interviewed, so you can check out that interview if you'd like. And she has has a commanding presence on screen. She's in the very first episode, and she's terrific. Also, Carl Weathers is back on screen in the show, and I love this guy. He's just so regal and powerful and kind of a pragmatic character compared to the seat-of-his-pants, adventure-chasing qualities of the Mandalorian. And so there's a great counterpoint there between Din Djarin and Greef Karga that I really appreciate and really dig. And we're getting to see that and be embellished a little bit, even right from the jump in Mando Season 3. And of course, we're going to dive deeper into the mythology of the Mandalorians in general, which I'm really appreciating in some pretty profound ways, which I won't spoil, even as we dip into the second episode, which is so freaking cool. So I don't have a score for you, but I thought both episodes were great. The first episode is quite strong, and it delivers a lot of kind of cleanup and setup for where we're going to go this season. It kind of crafts the mission for us. And what I'm digging so much is the mysteries that this is going to uncover and all of the new kind of realities that this will reveal for us in this galaxy. And I am along for this ride. I love this freaking show. I've always felt like this has been a gift, especially for me, from the people at Lucasfilm, because I've been in love with this galaxy and this universe of Star Wars for so freaking long. I've loved the creativity and the imagination that I've seen in this universe. Not everything has been perfect. There's been lots of stuff to be disappointed by with the Star Wars brand on it, but Mando ain't it. I love this show, and I'm definitely sticking for the rest of the season. So I'll come back with thoughts on further episodes, and I'll wrap up the whole season for you guys. But I want to know what you thought. What did you think of the first episode? Let me know in the comments below, and let's catch up soon and talk about further episodes of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon, and until then, play forever.